Hello everybody, this is Toy Zaros, and for this Transformers 1 movie figure review, we're going to be looking at the Mainline Deluxe Class Alpha Trion figures. So in this video, we're going to have a detailed look at him in both of his modes, help you decide how you want to display him. We're going to see how he looks and compares with some other Mainline figures, some Studio Series figures, and indeed I've got a few Alpha Trion figures as well. We can have a look at a quick couple of comparisons when he's in robot mode as well. So as I start to move all these out of the way, first and foremost, I need to thank Hasbro, who very kindly sent me this figure so I can do a review on him. And then of course is to remind anybody who's not subscribed to the channel, if you'd like to hit that subscribe button for me now please, because it really will help me out. Now first and foremost, as I say, this is a Mainline Deluxe figure, so that is one thing to bear in mind. And what that basically means is it doesn't have anywhere near the same amount of budget as a Studio Series Deluxe figure. But before we get to look at the packaging, the figure, we need to look at the packaging, because we've got obviously the alternate mode in the front. He comes packaged in robot mode. We've got the Transformers 1 logo there. We've got what was one of the very first posters, marketing tools for this particular movie. You've probably already noticed I've uploaded a separate video doing the transformation tutorial. That is to keep the main length of this video down, and indeed to be referred to back as a reference point at a later date if needed. There of course is some animation or some artwork for Alpha Trion. And now another thing you need to forgive me for, guys, is the movie isn't out until October the 11th, so I've still not seen it in the UK. So I'm just going to be reviewing the figure. I can't unfortunately discuss, I suppose, anything about the movie and the role he played in it, because obviously I've not seen it. Right, let's start off with the alternate mode, which is a very interesting alternate mode for the particular figure. I love the fact that we've got this metallic reflective sort of pinky purple color there for the head. It's great. This you do actually attach separately. That is one of the accessories along with the tail that comes wrapped up, and you have to then attach them or use them however you want to. Again, as I say, because it's Mainline, it's a little bit more basic, and what you'll tell when you pick it up, it just feels that little bit lighter. It just means it's a little bit more hollow as well. However though, if you disconnect this ever so slightly off that tab there, you've got a full huge range of motion with these front legs. You've got the swivel as well, and you've got your knee bend, even though it's going the other way, like a hyperextended knee bend, and you can move the hooves as well at the front, which is great. I'm saying hooves, I'm hoping I've got the correct terminology, because I don't know exactly what the animal this particular figure is, but exactly the same there. Even if it's attached, you've still got movement where you can spin it around there, turn them out and angle this about. Same with the back legs, huge amount of articulation. These are ball and sockets. You've got that joint there, and you've got the back joint here as well. So although, as I say, it's basic, it does feel quite light, and it is quite a bit cheaper than your Studio Series. It still looks and feels really, really good, to be honest. I like the feel of it, I like the look of it, and I suppose, as I say, it just intrigues me even more. The only thing I would have perhaps liked is for them to not use this blue color. It's exactly the same blue as they used in the Mainline, of course, Optimus Prime Orion Pax' Energon Axe. It just, for me, it just doesn't seem to work, and as horrible as this is going to sound, it looks to me to sort of cheapen it. It could have been any other color, perhaps. If it had been that color, fantastic, it would have been amazing. For me, it's just not working. Whether I'm being overly picky, I don't know. You'll have to let me know. This is Energon Glow Bumblebee, again one of the Mainline figures, so you'll have to, as I say, whether that scales or not, I couldn't particularly tell you. This one I'm not too sure either. This is just to give you an idea of sizes. Is of course your Studio Series Optimus stroke Orion Pax. A couple of quick comparisons for other people who collect other Mainline figures rather than these particular new ones just yet. As I say, we are quite behind for some reason in the UK. They're all starting to sort of appear round about now, in all honesty. But to be fair, there's not really much more to say about him in this particular mode. Let's come back and have a look at him in his robot mode, which is pretty much the way that I display all of my figures. So here he is in his robot mode then, and as I already said, there is a separate tutorial uploaded for you. Just one other thing of note though, that sometimes this does get quite difficult to separate. These tabs do hold in very, very tightly when when trying to reopen them. The good thing is as well, you can position this in a couple of different ways. You can have it up and tilted back, sort of. It's weird to work out how they've got it on that picture. You can't really see, but I suppose the best way, and the way that it is supposed to go, is tilted over like that. Now you can, if you want to as well, store the accessories in the back of this particular cape stroke, whatever it is, because again, this was one of the noses, so you've got all these tabs I need to tilt it back out again to show you that you could store this exactly where it was for the nose or in another one of these, but I'm sure you're probably going to be displaying it the same as the way I would, the way that it looks on the box. So it's sort of like, and I don't know, it looks like a little bit of a dagger as well as a sword, which is a bit of a strange, I suppose, combination of weapons for something for a kids film. But anyway, let's move the box out of the way very quickly and have a look at what I think is a lovely looking head sculpt. I think that looks really, really nice. And once again, not only have they got the reflective metallic purple there, they've done the same with the face, which works really well. The head itself can look up and down, it can turn. Can it go all the way around? It can actually go all the way around without it popping off. If it does, it's just a ball and socket, so you'll be fine. It's talking of ball and sockets, that's exactly what the shoulders are. So again, you can spin these all the way around. You can get full T range of motion there. With regards to the waist, if you just lift the cape up, you've got a full waist swivel, which is pretty good, obviously. You've got a swivel at the top of the bicep, two swivels actually, look, one onto the forearm and one on the top of the bicep, which is brilliant. Unfortunately, no articulation in the wrist, and in fact, that is completely fused, guys. You'd think it would fold in there, but it doesn't at all. That's just a solid piece of plastic, so please don't try and maneuver that at all. Even though you've got a full waist swivel, you've still got ball and sockets on the hips. And again, this is what I mean about the hollowish sort of stuff on the inside. You can still do, as long as you keep everything pretty much out of the way, you can still do the splits with them, which is good. You've also got, again, a thigh cut, a knee bend, ankle tilt, full tilt, you can see there, rock, and a bit of a tapping up and down with the heel as well. So again, for a basic mainline deluxe, lots of articulation, looks really, really good, to be honest. Right, let's just pop these in his hands. And as I said, perhaps I'm being overly pedantic, I don't know, but I would have just liked a slightly different color scheme. The other good thing is as well, you've got what I would class as the universal standard 5mm ports, so you can use a load of other weapons on him as well if you wanted to. So let's bring in Mainline Pro. Now, we haven't obviously got a Mainline Megatron just yet, unfortunately, which is a bit of a pain, but we do obviously have the Studio Series one, which I'm going to put there very quickly so you can see that, to be fair, I mean, I don't know, you guys let me know in the comments without giving me too much away, how much is he bigger at all, Alpha Trion, in the movie, or is he just same size as your Optimus Prime? There's your Studio Series, but either way, this being the main line, as you can see, he's much smaller. I'm just getting your what's he called, Energon Glow Bumblebee here ready as well to give you an idea. So that's with some Studio Series. I'm still as yet to open up even more figures, but this has got to be scaled wrong, because I can't imagine B127 being taller than all of them. However, they do tend to look pretty good. It doesn't matter which ones you get, as I say, which sort of toy line that they're under, they just seem to work, and I think that's pretty good, because that means that you can buy whichever version of the particular figure without necessarily keeping them in exactly the same toy line, because I know that sometimes that can be quite difficult. And again, if you've got siblings, some might have one from one and some might have one from another. The instructions are great. As I say, everything's in here that you need to know, which is perfect. I think all there is left to do is just for, I suppose, a bit of fun, just to bring in a few other Alpha Trions. So this is a Power of the Primes version of him. This is, I think, the more recent version of him. And again, you can always tell him by particular head sculpting. And this is one of my favourite versions of him up here. That's one of the Botcon ones. But there you go. There is some of your Alpha Trion figures. So let me know what you think in the comments, guys. Everybody keeps telling me, whoops, how good the movie is. So I can't wait to actually get around to being able to see it myself. It's appreciated, as I say, not to give me any spoilers. And again, there you go. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys. There are some Alpha Trions. Thanks for watching. Take care.